Welcome students to class 5th. Today we'll start with our new chapter and the topic is the development of medical science. In this chapter we will be understanding three major important topics that are the invention of instruments, then the contribution of the scientist and the rules for basic healthcare and hygiene. So let's start with the introduction of the chapter. In ancient times, people used to think that diseases were caused by evil spirit. To cure them, they worshipped various forces of nature as goddess and gods. Today, with the development of medical science, we have developed various methods and instruments to identify a disease. We are much healthier than our ancestors. We have a large number of medicines and other medical facilities to prevent diseases. Many instruments have been developed in different parts of the world to control diseases. So students, in the ancient time what happened, people think that the disease that they are caught with, that is due to the evil spirit or due to some bad spirit that is moving around them, or it is means they have a assumption that there is some kind of evil spirit and they are giving the pain and diseases to them. So they started doing prayers and worshipping gods so that they can get cure, but they are not aware about the medical science. But today with the development of medical science, what happened, different methods are available and different instruments are available so that we can understand what kind of diseases a particular person is having and we can try to get out of it. That means we are much healthier than our ancestors. Ancestor means our people who are before living in ancient time, that are called ancestors. So now we are having different large number of medicines and also we are having different instruments and facilities which can help us to prevent diseases and become healthier. So let's understand the different instruments. Some of the important instruments are clinical thermometer. Okay, we'll go through one by one. First one is the clinical thermometer. Before the invention of this instrument, it was difficult to know the exact temperature of a patient's body. First one is the clinical thermometer. Before the invention of this instrument, it was difficult to know the exact temperature of a patient's body. The thermometer gave the exact temperature of a human body in Celsius or Fahrenheit. So one of the most important instrument is clinical thermometer, through which we can get the exact temperature of a human body in Celsius or in Fahrenheit. Before, what happened, we don't get the actual temperature of a human body because we are not having any particular instrument for that. But now, due to the invention of this instrument, it became very easy to get the exact temperature of a human body. The exact reading can help the doctor to preserve the right treatment. The thermometer is placed under the tongue or the armpit of the patient. The sensitive mercury in the glass tube moves to the marking indicating the temperature of the body. Now they have given a description that how this clinical thermometer works. So as we can get the exact temperature of the body of a person, then a doctor can give a particular treatment to that particular person. So how they are getting the temperature of a person? They place the thermometer under the tongue or the armpit of a patient, and what happens then, the sensitive mercury which is present in the glass tube, it moves to the marking which indicates the temperature of a body. The clinical thermometer was invented by Daniel Gabriel Fahrenheit in the clinical thermometer was invented by Daniel in 1715. The normal temperature of a human body is 98.4 degree Fahrenheit and 37 degree Celsius. So what is the normal temperature of a human body? That is 98.4 degree in Fahrenheit and 37 degree in Celsius. When the body temperature rises above this level, we have fever. So when the body temperature rises above this level, then we are having fever. Don't get confused in 2 degrees, that is given 98.4, that is in Fahrenheit, and 37 degrees in Celsius. Nowadays, both analog or digital thermometers are used for measuring the body temperature. So, do you know the difference between analog and digital thermometers? Let you know. Analog thermometers, this is the picture of analog thermometer. They are mercury, means the mercury is present in a glass which indicates the temperature of a human body. But nowadays there is also present, that is digital thermometer, which can also used for measuring the body temperature. Stethoscope. Now next invention is, most important invention is of instrument, that is the stethoscope. The invention of a stethoscope derives its inspiration from a child's play. René Laennec, a doctor, was on his way to clinic. He observed two children talking to each other holding the two ends of a long tube like a log. The child was whispering and the other child could hear him loud and clear at the other end. This gave him an idea. He rolled up a paper into a hollow tube and put it against the patient's chest. To his surprise, he could hear the patient's heartbeat and the movement of patient's breathing. So, how the idea of invention of stethoscope comes? It comes from the inspiration from a child's play. Two children were playing and Dr. René Laennec, he was going through the way to the clinic, and she observed that two children were playing holding the two ends of a tube and they are talking to each other through that they are talking with that tube. One end is holding the one child and the other is held by the other child, and they were talking to each other through that tube. So that gave an idea to Dr. What did he did? He saw that gave him an idea, Dr. René. What idea that got by the René? That he then what did he did? He went to the clinic and he rolled a paper into a hollow tube and put it against the patient's chest. And what did he observe? That he can clearly hear the patient's heartbeat and the movement of patient's breath. Okay. In course of time, the hollow tube come to be developed into the stethoscope we see today. It enables the doctor to check the patient's heart. It enables the doctor to check the patient's heart and lungs and find out whether they are working as well as they should. So this was how the invention of stethoscope took place. The picture given is a picture of Dr. René Laennec, who invented the stethoscope. You can look at the picture of stethoscope also. It is an instrument that is used for hearing the heartbeat of the patients and to feel the breath of the patients. Next, another important instrument is microscope. The word microscope is a combination of two Greek words, micros and small, and scopes or watcher. So it is a watcher of small things. The microscope is an instrument used to see tiny germs which are otherwise invisible to the eyes. So what is the meaning of microscope? That is given that it comes from two words, that is micros, that means the small, and scopes, that is the watcher. So small thing watcher, that is called the microscope, to watch tiny germs which are otherwise invisible to eyes, which we can't see with the naked eyes, that we can see through the microscope. It was invented by Galileo. You can look at the picture of microscope. About 400 years ago, lenses are used to make spectacles. In 1590, a man selling spectacles accidentally placed two lenses, one in front of the other. As he glanced through it, he saw a fly as big as his hands. This was amazing and the news spread all over the world. So what happened? Around 400 years ago, when lenses were used to make spectacles. Okay, I hope you know the meaning of lenses. So that were used to make the spectacles. Then in the year 1519, a man was selling spectacles. Accidentally he placed two lenses, one in front of the other. So he put two lenses, one in front of the other, and he saw that the fly, means the fly which was sitting on his hand, that it can be looking as big as his hands. So this was very interesting thing for him. Then what happened? Galileo of Italy made a compound microscope using the idea. Then as this news spreaded, Galileo got an idea of making a compound microscope using this idea. Then he combined two lenses to make a microscope. Then with the help of microscope, scientists were able to see microorganisms like bacteria and protozoa. So likewise, this idea for making microscope came in the mind of Galileo. Today we have many powerful microscopes. The electron microscope magnifies an object millions of times. Its use has helped in the fight against many dreadful diseases. And today we are having different kinds of microscope which has given a very great and good evolution in the field of medical science, through which we can fight against many dreadful diseases. What are the other machines that are available in our medical science? That are X-ray machine. Also you may have heard about X-ray machines. It makes it possible for a doctor to see inside patient's body. It helps in finding out the diseases which cannot be detected by blood test, etc. It helps to locate fractures in the body. X-ray were discovered by V.K. Röntgen in 1896. So X-ray is another important and great invention in the field of medical science. It helps to the doctor to see the inside of the patient's body, as some diseases can't be detected through blood, as some of the diseases can't be detected through blood test. So it is another important invention in the field of medical science. So it helps in getting to locate the fractures. Who invented it? It was invented by V.K. Röntgen in 1896. Beside X-ray machines, nowadays we have then ultrasound and magnetic resonance imaging, that is MRI. These machines helps a doctor to give a complete picture of the organs of our body. So besides X-ray machine, nowadays we are also having different machines like CT scan, then ultrasound and magnetic resonance imaging, that is MRI. So all these machines helps the computer to get a complete picture of the organs of a patient, through which they can treat the diseases more effectively. Then ECG and EEG machines are used to monitor heart and brain respectively. All these machines helps in surgery as well. Then laser, you may have heard about laser operations, that is used to perform delicate operation without cutting the diseased part of the body. Without any cutting, they can do the operation of a person who is suffering from different diseases through a laser operation. All these are the great invention which in the field of medical science. So now let's go through the meaning of surgery. What is the meaning of surgery? Surgery is a process by which the doctors can cut or remove the sick or damaged part of the body. Surgery was practiced in India in ancient times. There were many surgeons in ancient India who knew a great deal about the human body. They carried out surgical operations. Today, hospitals are equipped with a variety of instruments and technological advanced machines to perform surgery. Today, vital organs like kidney or heart can be transplanted with the help of surgery. Modern surgery have made life safer and longer. So it is done from the ancient time in India. Surgery. What is a surgery? It is a process by which doctors can cut or remove the sick or damaged part of a body. So it is practiced in India in ancient times, means a very long time ago it has been practiced in India. As we are having many great surgeons, so what happened? What they do in that? They do operations and they remove the sick part or damaged part of a patient. And today also we are having a great development. As we are having a great development in the field of medical science, we can even transplant the kidney or heart through surgeries. That means modern surgery has made life safer and longer. Chloroform is nowadays widely used in operation theatres to make a patient unconscious. Thus, a patient does not feel pain and discomfort during a surgery. James Simpson introduced the use of chloroform in surgery. During a surgery, many patients die due to infection of wounds by germs. John Lister started the use of carbolic acid to kill germs in operation theatres. Carbolic acid did not injure body tissue. He also started the practice of sterilization of surgical instruments to make them free from germs and infections. During sterilization, instruments are thoroughly cleaned in boiling water to make them free from germs. So, slowly what happened? Surgery started. Then what happens? Many patients die due to infection of germs as they are cutting and using the various instrument for surgery. Then so what happened? Joseph Lister, they started using carbolic acid, which do not affect the body tissue but kills the germs. So this is how the slow invention took place in the field of medical science. Then James Simpson, what did he did? He introduced the use of chloroform. As the chloroform is given to a patient, then they don't feel the pain that occurs due to the process of surgery. And what did Sir John Lister did? He started the use of carbolic acid to kill the germs. Then also they started the use of sterilization. What is the meaning of sterilization? That is, they are boiling the instruments of surgery so that they can make them free from germs. These are the pictures of James Simpson. He introduced chloroform for process of surgery, and John Lister, he introduced the carbolic acid to kill germs in operations, and also started sterilization of surgical instrument. Medicines. With advancement in science, people learnt the causes of several diseases and the medicines used to cure them. The development of quinine helped in the treatment of malaria. Cocaine, which was used to deaden nerves for operations, came from the cocoa plant. Castor oil came from castor beans. Discovery of all these medicines has to cure many diseases. So slowly, as the advancement took place in the field of science, people started learning the different causes of diseases. So as they know the reason of the disease, then they started discovering the treatment also, like quinine, that is used for the treatment of malaria, and different medicines they try to develop for different diseases as they got the reason for diseases. Then what is the antibiotics? Antibiotics are a recent discovery. It is a recent discovery. Who invented it? Who discovered it? It was discovered by penicillin. Okay. It was discovered by Alexander Fleming. Chloromazepine and streptomycin were discovered later. Antidotes were substances which prevents the action of poison. Antibiotics are a recent discovery. Who started discovering? The first one who discovered the antibiotic, that person was Sir Penicillin. Then it was discovered by Alexander Fleming, and then chloromazepine and streptomycin were discovered later. Then antidotes are substances which prevents the action of poison. So if someone inject poison or someone intake poison, then it can be, the effect of that poison can be prevented by antidotes. That is the meaning of antidote. Prevention of diseases through vaccination. I think you may have heard the name of vaccination. What is the meaning of vaccination? A famous doctor, Edward Jenner of England, paved the way for vaccination. Through vaccination, the body is made to develop a defense system which makes it immune from diseases. Smallpox was a dreadful disease in 18th century. Thousands of people died of it. The discovery of vaccination is an interesting story. So, one famous doctor named Edward Jenner of England, he started the main focus for the way of for vaccination. Through vaccination he started making means as one get the vaccination, then they develop a defense system to improve the immune system from different diseases. So one of the example that is given in the 18th century, smallpox became a very big diseases. We can say it Mahamari. So that disease was introduced in 18th century, in which thousands of people died. So how the discovery of vaccination took place? Let's read the story, then we'll understand. One day a milkmaid told Dr. Jenner that she would never had smallpox because she killed all germs. One day a milkmaid told Dr. Jenner that she would never have smallpox because she had already had cowpox. What is cowpox? Cowpox is a disease milder than smallpox which human beings get from cattle. To test this, he collected the pus oozing from the boils of a patient suffering from cowpox. He injected the liquid into a young boy. The boy suffered cowpox disease for some days as expected and recovered later. Jenner now injected the boy with germs of smallpox disease, but no reaction was discovered. The boy did not get smallpox. Thus, anti-smallpox vaccine was discovered. Many other vaccines were later developed to prevent diseases like polio, measles, tetanus, diphtheria, etc. So, what is the story of for the invention of vaccination? One day when Dr. Jenner was at its home, so the milkmaid came to her home and she said that once she was having cowpox, that is why she never had smallpox. So through this idea, what did he did? Then he, for testing this, he collected some infection of cowpox. Okay. Then he injected the liquid into a young boy. Then the boy got the disease of cowpox and he is suffering from cowpox. Then after some time, as he recovered, then the Dr. Jenner, he injected the germs of smallpox. Then as he injected the germs of smallpox, then he saw that they are not having that the boy is not suffering from smallpox. Thus, it brings the vaccination. What is that? That is anti-smallpox vaccine. It was discovered. Then later on, other vaccines were also discovered for polio, tetanus. All these vaccines were discovered. Louis Pasteur discovered that germs were the cause of many diseases.